YouTube. Hi. Oh man. So today we're talking about I'm just going to talk to you guys about my decision to stay in the United States. I've been thinking about leaving. I thought about going to Canada for weeks and weeks and weeks. I thought about moving to Puerto Rico. I thought about moving to Germany. I spoke to family members about it and I decided my heart is here in the United States. I will not leave. Um, So I believe in God, and I will say I believe in the true God. Many people may not understand what that is, you know, but I'm wearing my rose quartz. My heart is here in the United States. My children are here, and if I ever travel, it'd probably be to like an island at this point, and it'd probably be if I moved somewhere, it would be when my children are much older because my family is here, our history is here, and my heart is here. I wanted to say that I've had a lot of hard experiences here, with my eldest father and just issues with the breakdown of that relationship, which I mentioned in the past. Work, the pandemic, and my mental health, the racism and weaponization of young minds, hatred towards women, and it growing online and out there in the world. Um, the violent crimes that I see, mass shootings. There was a lot of reasons why I was seriously considering moving to Canada. I live in upstate New York. It's like a hop, skip, and a jump to Canada. It's not very far, and I'm not, as I guess like people think I'm super gullible and whatever because I'm like a bubbly person, but I do happen to have a higher IQ. That doesn't mean that my life gets any easier. People, especially women like myself with higher IQs, tend to be a bit rebellious, and that causes trouble sometimes. But anyway, I thought about moving to Canada. It isn't so difficult to seek asylum or even just move there. And I decided my heart is here. There's a lot of adversity that I've faced. There's more to come, but there's a lot of that pain, a lot of the pain I've experienced in the past, a lot of the struggles that I obviously will have to experience going forward. It's worth the heart and the love and the true family that I have here in the United States. Um, so it's not about my relatives, okay? It's about like knowing that I have a spiritual family, knowing that I have found true love, and knowing that I have people that truly care about me. And uh, I do have individuals that have tried to exploit me. Like I said, I've never consent, and I never will consent to uh, exploitation and personal records being released, and anything that defames my character. Like, it's obviously I wouldn't consent to it. I know I just, even if I was not in my right state of mind, I wouldn't consent to those things. Like, it's just I tend to be the type of person, if I'm not really having a good time, or if I'm suffering mentally, or if I'm having a very difficult time, I'm not the person that wants to shine a light on myself. I'm more of the person that like closes the curtains and like hide out and you can't find me, and I'm not returning phone calls. Like, I'm that person when I'm really stressed out. But if I'm really happy, then I'm like, yeah, like, shining a big light, big smile, no problem if there is people that are focused on me or not. Um, but with that being said, it's having to do with respect and dignity. I have had people um, still content from me, still information about me, and share it online as a means to cause me harm. Those people will definitely have to be held accountable. They'll be dealt with. I don't have time to sit here and dwell on it and dwell on it. Um, I just state it and I mention it because in time, what will need to be revealed will be revealed. And sometimes I have to sit back and just let things be because, like, who am I? I mean, I'm a human woman, you know? I'm a person. And for at least a good 5 years of my life, um, I was kept alive and I was of no use to myself, okay? Like, my survival skills were, so like somehow I made it, okay? And I had people that was caring for me, so that's how. But the point is, um, as I get older, I learned to not take myself so seriously. And I realized that um, a lot of why I'm not pressed on or super technical with everything, even managing my kids and managing the house, is because I wasn't raised in a super strict household. Like I said, my mom's more progressive, and yeah, there was order that she had, but um, my parents really didn't start to gain wealth, and where things got a bit easier until I was like in my mid-teens. So we managed, and I had a wonderful childhood still, um, with the little that they had, and I mean, so everyone, so like for me, it's just what makes you a good parent is someone that loves you gotta love your children, and you have to take care of yourself. And there's a lot of systems in place. There's a lot of individuals invested in um, disturbing the peace of women like myself. When you have small children to take care of, you have to find a way to be at peace and be stable. Um, Children will like test you in every way possible. Uh, there's a lot of people that struggle with with mental illness and their mental health in this country. I got to a point where I was like, okay, again, and I stated this before. I'm tired of mass shootings. Like, I live in upstate New York. We had one a few years ago at a grocery store that I've actually gone to. I'm tired of the violent crimes. I'm tired of people being weaponized. And this is a superpower, okay? It is number one in the world. But it's not number one in the world for its health care or for its education. When it comes to the educational system, number one in the world is, I believe, Denmark or Finland, like Northern Europe. And we don't know what type of indoctrination that is, but let's just, when it comes to standardized education and higher education, the better quality is Northern Europe. So, you know, we're number one because of the businesses that you can start here, grow here, the wealth that people can attain here. When I say, wealth, I'm just referring to what people can attain. It's a little bit difficult to do that now. And then the protection, like we have a lot of artillery, we have a very strong military. So I think that's why we're number one. But when it comes to young children and their physical health and their mental health, and when it comes to the quality of food that we eat and what we're learning, the skills that we're developing and our young people are developing, it's not number one. And so, like, for me, I don't believe this place is a superpower, or at least number one superpower. I believe that it's not. I just feel like what we in our global society looks at as number one, I guess, has to do with the military and how strong um, of an influence people have. And Americans, there's, if you want to look at it from even a spiritual aspect, there's a lot of manifesting generators in the United States. So people, and that's just independent thinkers, independent people that can craft and create things out of literally the air. Um, we tend to have it hard in the beginning, very hard. However, if we survive, we tend to amass a great fortune and we tend to be very impressionable and highly influential. So I think for those reasons, we're number one. And globally, people turn their attention to us. But what truly matters when it comes to the people who make an empire, who make a nation, is their health and their children. Like that's number one. We're not going to be here for very long. So I don't truly believe that we're number one, but I do think we're up there. I just don't believe we're number one. I would say that maybe if you was to move this to Germany or Finland, you may have a way better quality of life than you could ever possibly have in the United States. With that being said, I still decided that I would stay here, and it's because of my family and our roots. You don't have to like me or want me to stay here. You may think I'm ungrateful and I don't appreciate my country, but I do vote and I live here. And I chose to stay here out of respect for my ancestors and the things that they laid down and the sacrifices that they made for me to even be able to sit here and make a video. I don't think they'll be very impressed with the country. And I think that me being able to have a choice on whether or not I can leave or not is a privilege that they fought for as well. If you just really think about it, because many of my ancestors were brought here by force, and they were not allowed to go back to their home country. Anyway, I've like went on and ranted on about my choice to stay in America and also me deciding like thinking about leaving and why. Um, Wholeheartedly, I believe that once my children get to a certain age, I may retire in a territory, like I may go to the islands. But for now, I'm here to stay. If you have any questions or you want to add anything, comment below. Bye.